Hello YouTube. So today we are at KVR Food Village and I have come to shoot the Dominar 400, and you can see there are a lot of Dominars here. My bike is parked right there. So 2 days ago uh, the company guys came down to my place with the Dominar so that I can have a good test ride and take some good shots, as they were organizing this event. Now they organized some rides all across the country, and here they had done it to on the Sri in Hyderabad. It was to this Kavia Food Village on the Sri Salem highway, and I hope my audio and video is clear because I'm not using my regular camera. I forgot the mic at home, so I'm recording with my friend Xiaomi via cam. So anyways, these people got out some Dominars, got it like 80 kilometers out of the city to give test rides out on the highway. I've already ridden the bike near my place 2 days ago, so I already know how and what it is. So without further ado, let's get on to the bike. But before getting on, firstly I'd like to tell you the things I like and I don't like about the exterior. The number one thing I like are the headlamps, which is an all LED unit. Contributes a lot to the beefy appearance of the motorcycle. This color scheme and the look of the tires, the rim design, you know, the black silver mixed, and the underbelly cover, it all gives the bike a very good appearance, beefy appearance. Even the exhaust is styled nicely. But what I don't like is this rear mudguard, which is a bit too huge, but I think Bajaj has opted for it instead of the, you know, NS kind of thing with the tire hugger, because they was developing a lot of vibration issues. So good move by Bajaj there, but that to me looks kind of ugly. So anyways, let's get on to the motorcycle and take it for a short spin. So one thing everyone knows is I don't generally do sub 600cc motorcycles, but this motorcycle, according to me, is a very special motorcycle because it is made by Bajaj, which is an Indian brand, of course, and it's developed in tandem with KTM. Bajaj owns quite a lot of stake in KTM. That's a different story, but nevertheless, Bajaj is a household name in India, completely Indian company, and you know, they develop motorcycles for the masses. So you know, this is the first very powerful and also affordable motorcycle by an Indian manufacturer. Without getting into comparisons, first I'll just tell you what I like about this motorcycle and what I don't like about this motorcycle. So let's start off with the things I like. About the exterior, I've already told you I really like the headlamps, the way it looks. Even the indicators are borrowed from the KTM Duke and RC lineup, which is very nice. They're all LED. The sitting posture, it's very comfortable. Even the handle is wide and roomy, so you're not sitting too upright and, you know, too backwards like on the Duke, and also not too forward. So it's a very comfortable position for long rides, and considering Bajaj is marketing this as a power cruiser, I think that's a added benefit. And the power delivery, now this thing develops 35 brake horsepower, whereas the Duke 390 develops around 44 brake horsepower with the same engine. At least that's what people think. Yes, it is the same engine, but the tuning on this bike is different than on the 390. Now comparing this with the 390, the 390 is more of a street bike. This is more of a highway cruiser, even though the absence of a lot of fairings and all. But the power delivery, it's very linear, very smooth. You can see we are in 6th gear and it's just pulling off. What I like is the power delivery is not too brash. Like in the 390 you get a sudden surge, and you know, it just wants you to redline and shift constantly. It just pushes you to go hard all the time. Whereas this, it's a very relaxed motorcycle in that manner. I mean, yes, and to be very honest, when you pull the bike, even the numbers don't come up quickly and you don't feel, you know, it's a 400cc bike pulling. But it's the way it's tuned, the linear power band right from 2000 RPM all the way up, and you know, it's torque everywhere, low down, compared to the 390 which struggles in 6th gear at any speeds. You know, you always have to downshift for any move, any kind of sudden overtaking maneuvers or anything. But this has torque everywhere, and this engine doesn't like to be revved. Like, it's very comfortable in the between 4 to 7000 RPM range, where it cruises at 120. So you know, that's very nice, and it doesn't intimidate you and scare you like the 390 does. For new riders, this thing is a lot more confidence inspiring. Speaking of confidence inspiring, the stability on this bike I found was very good. Like compared to the 390, it's very stable even at high speeds. It doesn't, wobble along like the 390 does, because it's very lightweight. This thing is slightly heavier than the 390. I'm not sure how much, but yes. One more thing I like about the motorcycle, the instrument cluster. It's a all digital LCD kind of panel. It's got this white over black. It's not exactly white, it's grayish white on black kind of accenting to it, which looks really good. And there is also a secondary instrument cluster right here which has the Bajaj symbol, which is always on, the high beam, low beam indicators, and the oil level, everything. Well, not oil level, like the low oil indicator and all that over here. So that's a very good move. It kind of reminds me of the Ducati Diavel. Now that's a completely different motorcycle, but yes, I think Bajaj has taken the cues from that bike. Even in the braking department, now it comes in two variants, non-ABS and ABS. Now I haven't ridden the non-ABS variant. This is the ABS variant, and from what I've experienced in the kilometers riding it, the braking is phenomenal. I mean, for a Bajaj, even otherwise, as a bike, this thing, you just brake, it stops. It's very linear. So, braking also excellently done. Now, the issues, like, this is what all I like about the motorcycle. What I don't like about the motorcycle. To begin with, it is a Bajaj, and when people say Bajaj, the quality doesn't really go hand in hand with Bajaj, because of we all know Pulsar was the first proper performance oriented Indian motorcycle, the Pulsar lineup, but they were not really so robust and reliable when these KTMs, Yamahas and all these bikes started coming in. We came to know that quality on Bajaj bikes is not that much up to the mark. Let's just take a U-turn here. Yeah, so the quality and all is not that much up to the mark. Like when the bike is new, it's a different story, but after like 5,000 kilometers, 10,000 kilometers, there are numerous reports of even RS200s having failures in their engine oil circulation systems, the fuel pumps, blah 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 blah. So now Bajaj has taken quite a long time to develop this motorcycle, considering the 390 came out quite a long while ago. So I think Bajaj has done quite a lot of R&D, and even a lot of parts have been borrowed from the 390, so quality shouldn't be much of a problem in the long run. Let's just hope. Even with the 200 NS, which was based off on the KTM 200, it was a very good bike, but it didn't sell well in numbers, so they had to discontinue it. And after discontinuing it, existing customers are having a hard time in finding replacement parts for it. So I just hope Bajaj doesn't do that with this motorcycle. So the next thing, now you see this bike has a lot of electrical, like a lot of wiring. It's got dual channel ABS, which is an excellent thing. Like on the 390, it's a system by Bosch, and it's got an all LED instrument cluster, all LED headlight, tail lamps, LED indicators. So when you have that much amount of electricals on a motorcycle, especially on a Bajaj, it's a point to be worried about, because there have been numerous reports of electricals failing on these motorcycles. And the more the electricals, at least that's what I feel, जितने ज़्यादा electronics है, it's the chances of the bike failing are more. Now this thing is not carbureted, it has a fuel pump, so we have to see how it lasts in the long run as well. Like in the beginning everything will seem nice, but we have to see how after 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 kilometers of service life, how the bike is turning out to be. I'll just do a short acceleration run here for you guys. I'm a bit heavy, so don't go by the numbers, but still we'll try. So this bike can touch triple digit speeds relatively easily, uh, but also it doesn't like being pushed that hard, like, you know, it doesn't like being drag race, and as you guys notice, it doesn't like being revved. That's the thing. It's very happy at 100, 120, cruising along even at 80, and you have this nice sudden punch of torque even in 6th gear at like 3,000-4,000 rpm. You give it some gas and it just goes. The 390 jitters and you know, shakes. You know, that's what I like about this bike. The gear ratios and all are matched very perfectly. And Bajaj has gone a great length in reducing the vibrations of this motorcycle. Now, like on the NS, there were a lot of wiring looms here under the tail lamp, but on this, relatively, I didn't see much cluttered wiring. But the only thing is the front ABS wire. It's very loose and dangling, so you know, you don't want people cutting it off. So that is one thing that should be tightened. Apart from that, the clutch action, the brakes, everything is lovely. Yeah, we were talking about electricals. So yep, when you put so many sensors and electricals and everything in the motorcycle, you have to go out of the way to ensure that the quality is on par with the other competitors. You don't want the motorcycle to be, you know, unreliable. Like if Bajaj is marketing this as a tourer, so people are going for long rides, you don't want it to be breaking down anywhere. So yes, I just hope, fingers crossed, that, you know, from what I have experienced, this bike is unlike any other Bajaj I've ridden. That's the reason they've not launched it under the Pulsar brand name. They've launched it under a completely different name, like the Dominar. Even the key fob of this bike has Dominar imprinted on it. No, not Bajaj or, you know, Pulsar or anything. So, you know, that's a very good feel. Moving on to one more problem, service backup. Now, if you're spending 1.5, 2 lakhs, whatever on this motorcycle, you expect it to be a bit premium. And of course, it does feel premium. It is a premium motorcycle sitting. It does have this big bike feel to it. But, you know, when you go for servicing to a Bajaj service center, now Bajaj sells like hotcakes in India. So there are tons of bikes out there, thousands of bikes, hundreds of bikes lined up for servicing. And you don't want to go stand in that mess. You know, a person who's bought, say, a Discover and a Dominar, you don't want the same service bay and the same technicians for it, because this has a lot of complex electricals. So Bajaj, what Bajaj has done is, in Hyderabad they have given it only to 8 or 9 dealerships for selling. That they are exclusively selling this bike and also servicing. Now they have a separate service bay, separate customer launch, that's what I'm told. So that's an excellent move by Bajaj to make your customers feel more premium and remove that, you know, Bajaj is, मतलब Bajaj की गाड़ी बोल तो quality नहीं रहती kind of stereotype. Bajaj is trying to remove that, and they are going in a good direction, at least from what I feel. The tires. Now this thing gets MRF revs tires, the tubeless tires of course, but still MRF doesn't inspire a lot of confidence, and you know, even on the Duke 200 they're not so good. So on this, it's a 400 with a lot more torque. I feel Bajaj could have done better with some other tires. I mean, they could have partnered up with MRF to offer their new Masseteers, or maybe Michelin Pilot Road 2s. You know, I'm not asking them to offer like Metzlers or anything, because this is not a track bike, but they could have offered the PR2s or the Masseteers for, you know, a little bit of corner carving and touring. These MRFs are not really up to the mark. So that being said, overall my verdict on this bike, I think it's a lovely bike, you know, considering you don't really do small motorcycles, but I consider this to be a very special bike for the Indian market, as it is affordable power for the masses. You know, Bajaj has done an excellent job at fine tuning the engine. Even the engine, it's very, you know, it's very eager to rev. I mean, it doesn't take time for, you know, you give it throttle, it instantly revs up. So, you know, that's something very nice. So there's no lag or anything. Even the fueling is spot on, and it even sounds a bit heavier. Not like, you know, there are KTM में थोड़ी ऑटो के वैसी आवाज़ आती है. Not in this. It's a very heavy and bassy sounding engine, and but there is a little bit of mechanical sound too, but chalta, it's not that bad. Let's just take a U-turn to go back to the dhaba. So that's about it. It's an excellent motorcycle. 1.5 lakhs is the base price for the non-ABS, 1.7 for the ABS variant. So go for the one you like. So yes, one last message to all of you. Now you're getting a lot of powerful motorcycles in a very affordable price range. So, you know, it's not a company's fault, it's a good thing. that power is available to the masses. But you know, from our side, like you viewers, potential customers of this bike or whatever, you know, now I see every 10th and intermediate pass kid going to their parents asking for a 400cc 250cc, and parents bhi kitna bol ke kar sakte, they love their children, but you know, dila dete. So you know, it's up to us. Please ride responsibly. This bike is powerful, mind you. Yes, for a first time rider, if you're a newbie, the potential customers we're looking at, it's very powerful. So I just hope Bajaj gives some training or some at least theoretical knowledge to its customers, so as to, you know, how to ride the bike responsibly. So don't go around street racing or, you know, show off करने girlfriend को बिठा के छिचोरापना मत करो. Yes, it is a very powerful motorcycle in general. I've talked a lot about it in the other videos, also in other bikes. Just learn to ride responsibly. Have fun on the highways, not on the city streets, and be careful. So verdict of the bike, excellent effort by Bajaj, excellent bike. Only thing which worries me is how it will be in the long run. You know, let's just hope, fingers crossed, that this thing doesn't give you any electrical or mechanical reliability issues in the long run. Bajaj has done a long way, even to reduce vibrations. It doesn't vibrate as much as the 390 also, you know, it's very smooth and linear. So that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.
Listen.